We interrupt your regularly scheduled IV fight at 1:45 to introduce the new update for Pokerogue. It's been about a month since they've had an update, and this one seems pretty big. So we're going to go over I kind of went over these by myself, and I'm going to kind of hit the ones that I feel are going to be more relevant to me. So the major changes, you got account linking with Google and Discord, and I don't really know how that's relevant, but I'm sure that it's something that I don't really mess with a lot, so I'm sure there's people going to be interested in that. New challenge mode, fresh start added. I don't know if I'm going to do that. I really have to check out what it is. It sounds like you kind of just wipe your game, but let's see. Let's keep reading. Nicknaming feature added. Awesome. Sweet. Big fan. Starter select screen now has filtering, has been improved. I'll go ahead and refresh and show that maybe after this, or I might just cut right to it after. Minor changes. Opposing Mega Gmax Pokemon now display their names properly. It's about time. Pretty cool. TM learned sets updated. Also very nice. New music added. We'll have to refresh and try to get some of that. Added more TMs. Also very good. This just makes every Pokemon, every Pokemon can be broken in Pokerogue, and that's what's kind of really fun. You can really use your favorite. In most games, you can try to use your favorite, and they'll just get stomped. So the fact that there's more TMs and more ways to use your favorite Pokemon is always a plus. Added some relearn moves. Also, no new moves, same thing. Added a summary option for catching a Pokemon. So I guess this gives you the option to turn on or off the summary, so you don't have to go through an extra setting or something every time. Implementations fixed. Whatever. Moves. Multi-target moves now properly deal less damage. This is something that I was always wondering about, because any spread moves like Dragon Energy, the one that I'm using in this run, and Glacial Lance, is a spread move, and they should do less damage. I believe it's 75% damage of whatever their full power is. That's always how it's been in VGC. So it's cool the game has caught up to it, even though it's a completely different twist on Pokemon. Dynamax Cannon damage formula tweaked for targets over level 200. I thought it always was tweaked, but I guess not. Octolocks a move, sketch bug fixes, yada yada yada, some other things. Oko moves no longer affected by damage modification. That also reminds me a lot of my my Abomasnow short that I made, because I used the Oko move and it didn't KO. So I guess there's probably ways to implement the damage and make it a lot stronger. Conversion 2, whatever, Metronome freeze, who cares? Surf, Sludge, Wave, Muddy Water animations fixed. I don't think they had animations before, so now they have animations. Awesome. Glaive Rush has been fully implemented, which is kind of cool. So now you'll actually take the double damage instead of just getting a 120 base move with no kind of recoil or no bad repercussions. Stuffed Cheeks, whatever. 1,000 Arrows now hits Magnet Rise. I could have sworn that's how it should have been, so it's good that it's now implemented. Arrow Blast is classified as a wind move. This will be for passives like Wind Rider, where that'll matter. Stockpile, Spit Up, and Swallow are implemented. I really don't see how those will ever be used, but I'm sure somebody will come up with a strategy. Recharge moves would be locked into recharging. I think this is talking about the Beak Blast strategy that you could use with Toucannon. Jungle Healing, Lunar Blessing, whatever. Fix some interaction with Frenzy moves. I didn't know there was an issue. Oko move should now ignore accuracy and evasion battle stat changes. So I guess you could have had an Oko move and then just upped your accuracy by 6%, or by 6 times, and that would be 100% accurate. Kind of cool. Water Shuriken guarantees 3 hits with Battle Bond. This is always how it should have been, so it's good that that's now implemented. Magic Guard interactions fixed. I didn't know that these were broken. I might have to do some testing and see what that is. Hustle. This one I was reading and I felt like I had the Godzilla brain and I was going to explode. Hustle now attack boost correctly all the time. I'm rereading it again and I don't know what that means. This one's pretty big. Cloud9 now displays a message upon activation. In case you do not know what Cloud9 is, it's basically an ability that comes in. I believe Golduck gets it and maybe some other guys. And it kind of gives you the same thing that Rayquaza has, which is Airlock. So it kind of nullifies any weather effects. And I believe that also means Swift Swim, Slush Rush, and other abilities along those lines. Form change items should no longer be transferable. I didn't know that they were transferable before, but I guess the Gmax mushrooms, some people were saying that you could transfer those. And actually on my Maridon run, since I fused it with a couple different Megas before, it is holding a couple different Mega Stones, even though it's no longer fused with them. So I kind of like that. It's just like a little trophy thing, but that's probably no longer implemented. Scope lens, a new item. Scope lens is a lens scoping out weak points. It boosts the holder's critical hit ratio. Cool, it's in the game. Leak. This very long and stiff stalk of Leak boosts the critical hit ratio of far-fetched moves. Awesome. I thought it was in the game, but I guess it wasn't. EXP items now stack additively instead of multiplicatively. And I don't know how that's going to... I don't know if this is going to make endless runs harder. Or... I had to mute that. I'm sorry. My brain. I don't know if that's going to make endless runs harder or just kind of more push towards rare candies in the sort. I guess we'll have to see. We'll have to experiment with that with the Miraidon run now. Form change items involving a second Pokemon now require the secondary Pokemon to have been caught. This is actually kind of big because before you could just run Calyrex and then get one of like the most broken Pokemon in the game, Shadow Rider or Ice Rider. Ice Rider is kind of secondary to Shadow Rider. Everybody knows it. Let's not pretend. But now you'll need other Pokemon, so I guess that's kind of a little way to balance it. I actually really want them to bring Ultra Super Necrozma into the game. I just want it to be broken. And maybe that could be like another boss that you face besides Eternatus. I digress. White Herb, an item to be held by a Pokemon. It will restore any lowered stat in battle. So this will work for moves like Overheat, where your special attack drops by 2. Or even if you get intimidated, this will reset your stat. So we'll have to look out for that. A lot of quality of life stuff. Starter select menu updated so Pokemon can be removed. That's kind of nice. Instead of having to backspace your like 2 or 3 different Pokemon, you can now just take out one at a time. Stat messages are pluralized now, so I guess that means attack. We'll see. Added shop opacity option. That's actually really nice. Multi-target moves now highlight multiple targets. So instead of like when I click Glacial Lance, it just doesn't give me the option of who to select. It'll tell you that who it's hitting. Because there are some times where I've used like Lava Plume and it hits my own guy, or I use Sludge Wave and I think it's just going to hit the opponents, but it also hits my guy. So this just being cleared up is actually really nice. Rare Candy now displays the proper level increase. I thought it did that before, but maybe this is just a little clarification. Background glow for starters with passives. That's kind of nice, and I think it'll be used for just a little bit of clarity. So you don't go... Did I actually unlock the passive on this guy? Because once you start unlocking a ton of passives, you kind of forget who you unlock it and who you don't have it for. So the little background glow will be kind of nice. Hopefully it's not confused with the daily run Mons. They get the Pokerust and extra EXP. We'll also have to check that out. Pokemon Generation Tooltip, no idea what that is. Status indicators changed to make the Pokeball icon always visible. Okay, I'm going back to this. Added Pokemon Generation Tooltip. I think this might mean for like the Generation 1 or 2 or 3 runs. And that gives you the ability to let you know that this evolves into some guy that you probably can't use later. I'm imagining what that's for. Once again, I'll also check that. Starter move changes should now properly be recorded. Starter move changes. Maybe... I'm guessing this might mean like egg moves when you put them on your Mon and then they're not on there on the run. I don't know. That's an issue I was having. Maybe I'm hallucinating, but maybe that's what that means. New icons added for achievements. So does that mean new achievements? Ain't no way. Other bug fixes. Sprite fixes. Damage calcs now properly do 85 to 100% instead of 85 to 99. That's kind of cool because I could have sworn there's been a couple times, you could probably go back in some of the videos and find where like I hit a Pokemon and it doesn't have any red in the health bar like at all. It looks empty, but it's still alive. And maybe that's what this is doing, or maybe this is just a calculation clear up. Like maybe they were running a lot more calcs and they realized that it was hitting 99% instead of the 100. So we'll see. Fix some bugs for Pokemon not being grounded properly. That's cool. Fix a sizing issue with the BGM bar. We'll check that out. Fix some cases of trainers being double battles when they weren't supposed to be. I don't know what this issue is, but I also kind of do want them to bring back champion double battles. I know that sounds ridiculous and some people are probably going to hate me for that, but I really like it. Or at least maybe have it as an option before selecting like your classic run. Fix bug where battle tags were lapsing, whatever. Fix bug where Pokemon's ability would improperly change upon evolving. I could have sworn I had that with actually Horsey and Seadra in my water run, but because I think Seadra gets Swift Swim as well. But it changed to Poison Point when it evolved to Seadra, and then it changed back to Kingdra when it evolved. So this might be... There's probably other cases that I'm not familiar with where that implies, and that's pretty good. Terrain clears properly on trainer battles. This is awesome because there's a lot of times, even actually with weather sometimes too, but I guess this is just specifically terrain, where say it's like round 139 and you're going to get a gym fight at 140. There's been a lot of times where like your terrain might be like 2 out of 5, 2 turns left. You go into the trainer battle, it doesn't reset your terrain like it does your stats and everything else. And then you only have 1 turn of terrain left when it should have restarted, giving you a full another 5 turns, which is kind of nice. I'm hoping this also includes weather, but maybe weather is treated differently. Fix some terrain interactions with grounded Pokemon. This probably is more related to maybe Psychic Surge with priority moves, or maybe another terrain. I can't remember. Fixed bug with damage numbers showing up twice. Never ran into that. Fixed bug for Pokemon not properly learning moves at 100. Cool. On summon abilities now trigger after the switch prompt. On summon abilities. I imagine that means rain, terrain, things like that. Fix the bug with HP rounding issues. Yeah, okay, I think that's the one I was noticed. Fixed bug with Nan stats for new accounts. No idea what that means. I don't know what Nan is, unless it's the bread. Fixed counter attack move targeting issue with switch out moves. Counter attack move targeting issue switch out moves. So I guess if you like volt switch and someone not countered, but say if you U-turned and then someone countered, I guess there's some issue with that. Fixed bug where hatching eggs would be of the wrong shiny variant. This is something that I think my friend ran into. I don't believe I've ran into this yet, but I guess there's some variants of Mons that aren't available. Like not every Pokemon has a red shiny, and that's probably what this is pertaining to, where sometimes you'll hatch a red shiny of a Mon. It won't have a sprite, and it'll just give you the default shiny. That's what I'm guessing this is. But yeah, this is the new big update. So back to your regularly scheduled Ice Run programming. And if you're watching this now, the Ice Run will probably come out in a day or two. Okay, this is what the new gen and everything looks like. So you have gen, type, unlocks, win, sort. You also can't use your mouse anymore. So these glows, these are the glows that you can see for the passive. Actually pretty cool, so you can see who you do and don't have unlocked, which will probably be good for like different runs and monotypes, things like that. Gen, or type. Okay, so you can just sort by type. Let's just do ground. What did that do? All. And type. Oh, this removes the ground. Okay. So I guess you could remove normals if you didn't want to pick a normal type. That's kind of cool. Unlocks. Oh, you could do it by shinies? So let's get rid of normal, not caught, passive unlocked, and passive locked. Wait a minute. Yeah, so this would be like a list of all your shiny variants, which is kind of cool. Let's just do all again, reset that. Wins. All. Has one, hasn't won yet. So these are actually all the guys. I really thought about doing a run based on... It actually has all the gens mixed and it's one big slider. That's actually really nice. Can I use the mouse for this? No, I can't. Okay. I just wanted to see. But I basically kind of had the idea of, since I'm pretty much beat all the runs with I'm doing all the generation runs and all the type runs with Mons that I have not used yet. And then at the end of that, it's like, well, what am I going to do? I thought about doing kind of like a bottom of the barrel run, where it's all the guys that I have not used for type runs or things for different reasons. And this actually gives me the option for that, which is pretty tight. And sort by cost, number of candies, IVs, and name. So this is actually a pretty big change. This is actually really nice. I guess we'll see. I'll do it a little bit more in the next run. Obviously, the ice run's in progress, so I'll probably do this more for the dark run, just to kind of get more familiar with it. But what do you guys think? This is actually pretty cool. The constant updates for this game is going to keep it alive. The fact that it's also a game you don't have to download a mod for, like Pokemon Emerald Road 2.0. It's a game that you can play on the phone, on your browser. It's free, obviously. This game is I think this game is going to be around for a while, and I think there's going to be a ton of people who haven't gotten into Pokemon that are kind of going to use this as the opportunity to get into it. And that's funny because this is such a huge difference than the regular Pokemon games. You can use your favorite Pokemon. Once you get to 100, there's like nothing to really challenge you. And this game goes way beyond that barrier, man. Very cool. So what do you guys think of the update? Is it pretty cool? How are you going to use the functions? And just kind of what do you think? How are you enjoying Pokerogue right now? I'll see you next video. Ice video coming out tomorrow.